This message is not for everyone. If you have never lost anything, if you have never been separated from someone you loved, if you have never felt yourself break and reform from the inside out, you can stop listening now. This calling is conditional. It only finds those who have walked through loss, separation, and inner transformation. This is not for the untouched. This is for the ones who were changed by fire. You are here because something was taken from you. A relationship you thought would last. A season you planned to stay in. A version of yourself you can never return to. You didn't just lose something externally, you lost an identity internally. And ever since that moment, life has felt divided into before and after. That was not an accident. Listen carefully. This is not coincidence. This is divine intervention. God does not interrupt the comfortable like this. He interrupts the ones He is preparing. He speaks directly to those who have been stripped, not spoiled. Separated, not celebrated. Refined, not admired. You didn't fall apart randomly. You were taken apart intentionally. There are people listening right now who know exactly what this feels like. You didn't announce your breaking. You didn't dramatize your pain. You carried it quietly. You kept functioning while something inside you was being dismantled. And you kept asking yourself, why did I have to lose this? Why couldn't I keep that and still move forward? Because some things cannot follow you where God is taking you. This calling has a condition: you had to lose something you prayed to keep. Because if you could have entered your next level unchanged, you would have. But the assignment ahead required a version of you that could not exist without pressure. Loss wasn't punishment. Loss was preparation. You were separated because what you were becoming could not survive in familiar environments. God removed what felt like support so you would learn stability. He removed what felt like love so you would learn alignment. He removed what felt like certainty so you would learn trust. You didn't just lose people, you lost agreements. You didn't just lose time, you lost illusions. You didn't just lose comfort, you lost dependency. And every separation hurt because it was precise. There was a moment when you almost quit, not out loud, not publicly, internally. You were tired of being strong, tired of being misunderstood, tired of being the one who always survives. You didn't want to die, you just wanted rest. That moment did not disqualify you, it marked you. Because even then, you stayed. You didn't harden your heart. You didn't abandon your values. You didn't turn bitter. You endured the refining without losing your essence. Heaven noticed that. This is why this message is conditional. Because only those who have been tested can be trusted with testimony. The Spirit speaks clearly through the words recorded in the book of Psalms, chapter 66, verse 10. For you, O God, tested us. You refined us as silver is refined. Silver is not refined gently. It is held in fire until the impurities surface. And the refiner does not remove it too early, only when he can see his reflection in it. That is what has been happening to you. You thought the delay meant denial. It meant purification. You thought the silence meant abandonment. It meant focus. You thought the loss meant you were falling behind. You were being set apart. This is why you no longer fit where you once belonged. This is why conversations feel shallow. This is why your tolerance for compromise has disappeared. This is why you would rather be alone than misaligned. You didn't change because you wanted to. You changed because you were refined. Chosen ones are not revealed in applause. They are revealed when everything familiar collapses and they still choose obedience, still choose integrity, still choose humility, still choose to stay soft in a hard process. If this is resonating, it's because heaven is confirming something you already sensed. Your story is being rewritten, not erased. What broke you did not end you. It prepared you to carry glory without pride. Now this is the only time I will ask in this section. If you know loss transformed you, if separation matured you, if you can feel that God used pain as a pen support this word. Like this message, share it with someone who survived quietly, and subscribe so you stay aligned with what God is unfolding next. And as a prophetic act of agreement, at the very end, comment 77 if you know what tried to destroy you actually refined you. You need to hear this slowly, personally, and without distraction. Do not compare your scars to someone else's healing. Do not measure your burn marks against another person's testimony. Do not look at how fast they recovered, how publicly they were restored, or how easily they speak about what nearly destroyed them. That comparison will confuse you, exhaust you, and delay what God is doing specifically in you. This instruction is for you because you have been tempted quietly to wonder why your process looks harsher, why your fire lasted longer, why your wounds went deeper, why others seem to move on while you are still standing in the aftermath. Learning how to breathe again. Here is the truth you must practice daily. Your fire was custom designed. What burned you was not meant to burn them. What tested you would have crushed someone else. And what refined you could not have been survived by a weaker version of you. You were not given a harder process because you are behind. You were given a deeper one because you were trusted. Stop comparing burn patterns. Fire reveals different things in different materials. Some people were bruised. You were burned. Some were corrected. You were dismantled. Some were delayed. You were transformed. That does not make you worse, it makes you precise. You must stop scrolling past other people's victories and silently accusing yourself of failure. Their chapter is not your curriculum. Their pace is not your timeline. Their healing is not your measurement. God does not mass-produce testimonies. He authors them. And here is where the practice begins. When comparison enters your mind, you do not argue with it emotionally, you correct it spiritually. You say, that was their fire, this is mine. You remind yourself that God did not assign you a generic process. He assigned you a necessary one. Because if your ego had survived, your calling would not have. If your dependence had remained, your authority could not grow. If your old identity stayed intact, your future assignment would reject you. You were not punished. You were prepared. You also need to stop minimizing your pain because someone else had it worse. That is another form of comparison, and it is just as destructive. Pain does not become holy by being dismissed. Fire does not lose its intensity because someone else burned longer. What you walked through mattered. Heaven recorded it. God does not overlook quiet suffering. You are allowed to acknowledge that it hurt. But here is the practice. Do not build identity around the wound. You pass through fire, you do not live there. Some of you stayed too long replaying what broke you because it felt safer than stepping into who you are becoming. Pain felt familiar. Healing feels unfamiliar. But you cannot keep comparing your present to someone else's past and expect clarity. Your fire taught you things their fire could not. It taught you discernment. It taught you restraint. It taught you silence. It taught you how to hear God without confirmation. It taught you how to obey without applause. These lessons do not show up immediately as success. They show up later as stability. You must practice honoring the version of you that survived without becoming addicted to the story of survival. Gratitude without attachment. Memory without identity. Another instruction: stop explaining your fire to people who were not there. Not everyone needs context. Not everyone deserves access. Some people will never understand why you changed, and they don't need to. Your transformation does not require consensus. You are not obligated to make your testimony palatable. Comparison will tempt you to either exaggerate or diminish what you went through. Resist both. Speak plainly to God, quietly to yourself, selectively to others. You also need to stop rushing your healing because you think time has passed long enough. Healing is not late, it is layered. Some things healed immediately. Other things are healing now. Some things will heal as you walk forward, not while you stand still analyzing them. This is why comparison is dangerous. It pressures you to perform recovery instead of practicing obedience. You are not behind. You are integrating. And there is something else you must understand. Your fire refined your capacity. You can now hold weight others cannot. You can sit with discomfort without panicking. You can hear correction without collapsing. You can carry silence without filling it with noise. These are not small things. These are leadership traits in the kingdom. The ancient words recorded in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 3. Speak directly to you. Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. Notice what it does not say. It does not say compare your work. It does not say evaluate your progress against others. It says commit your work, your process, your path, your becoming. Your only responsibility is alignment, not acceleration. So here is the daily practice you must return to. When comparison rises, pause. When jealousy whispers, pause. When discouragement tries to convince you that you are late, pause. And then remember, God has never once confused your story with anyone else's. You are not healing wrong. You are not taking too long. You are not weaker for needing time. Your fire did not destroy you. It calibrated you. And the ones who will benefit most from your testimony are not watching your speed. They will recognize your depth. Do not compare your burn marks. They are proof you passed through something that did not have permission to keep you. There was a season when heaven went quiet on you. Not distant quiet. You prayed, but the prayers seemed to fall flat. You listened, but there was no clear instruction. You waited, but nothing moved. And the silence did not feel peaceful. It felt unsettling. It felt like being trusted without being reassured. This is where many people misunderstand God. Silence is not absence. Silence is assessment. God speaks loudly when He is teaching. He goes quiet when He is testing integration. When you already know enough, He watches what you will do without reminders. This is where obedience matures from reaction into identity. You didn't lose God's voice. You lost dependence on constant confirmation. Think back carefully. During that quiet stretch, you still made choices. You still avoided certain paths. You still resisted certain temptations. You still felt conviction even without instruction. That means the word was already inside you. Silence simply revealed it. You were not abandoned. You were being observed. This section is for the ones who obeyed without applause. For the ones who kept integrity when no one was watching. For the ones who did the right thing without emotional reinforcement. That is not weakness. That is authority forming. When heaven is silent, your habits speak. Some people panic in silence because they only know how to move when pushed. You stayed. You waited. You endured uncertainty without becoming reckless. That restraint was not fear, it was wisdom. You were learning how to carry weight. Silence stripped away emotional obedience. It exposed motive. It revealed whether you followed God for clarity or for comfort. And even when you were confused, you did not rebel. You questioned, but you stayed submitted. That matters. This is where spiritual authority is forged, not when God is answering every prayer, but when you obey without explanation, when you trust without timeline, when you stay faithful without feedback. You may not realize it yet, but heaven took note of how you behaved when you could have drifted. Some of you were tempted to force doors, to manufacture movement, to settle just to feel something happen. But something restrained you. A quiet conviction, a steady inner boundary. That was not hesitation. That was discernment matured through silence. You did not freeze. You waited well. And waiting well is a discipline few master. This is why silence was necessary. Noise would have rewarded impatience. Silence rewarded character. You didn't lose momentum, you lost distraction. Now understand this clearly. God is far more concerned with who you become in silence than what you accomplish in noise. Because achievements can be undone. Character cannot. This is also why some people faded away during that season. They were attracted to your voice when you were expressive. They were uncomfortable with your depth when you became still. Silence exposes who only knew you for what you gave, not who you are. Let them go. Silence was your filter. And here is the truth most people never hear. Silence precedes commissioning. Before Moses spoke publicly, he learned privately. Before David was crowned, he was hidden. Before Jesus began ministry, there were silent years no one recorded. God is not rushed by visibility. The apostle speaks with clarity in the book of Lamentations. Chapter 3, verse 26. It is good that one should wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Waiting quietly is not passive. It is disciplined trust. It is strength under restraint. It is faith without theatrics. You did not waste that season. You absorbed it. Now here is where participation matters not for engagement, but for alignment. In a moment, I want you to comment a short phrase. Under 4 words, not as performance, as a declaration. Words anchor decisions. When spoken, they reinforce identity. The phrase is, I stay faithful. 3 words, no embellishment. Here is why this matters. Faithfulness is not loud, it is consistent. Saying I stay faithful is not claiming perfection, it is declaring direction. It is choosing steadiness over impulse, alignment over emotion, obedience over urgency. You are not saying you never doubted. You are saying you did not leave. When you type I stay faithful, you are affirming that silence did not break your covenant, that waiting did not weaken your resolve, that uncertainty did not corrupt your character. This is not about who sees it. It is about what it settles in you. Because the next season will require consistency, not excitement, weight, not rush, authority, not noise, and faithfulness is the only thing that carries all 3. You have already proven you can survive silence. Now you are being trusted with movement. And remember this, those who endure quiet seasons well are the ones God speaks through loudly later. You are not overlooked. You are being positioned. You are standing at a crossroads you cannot ignore anymore. This is not about choosing between good and bad. It is about choosing between comfort and calling, between delay and surrender, between holding control and releasing it completely. This is the quiet but decisive moment where heaven is waiting on your yes. This is the battle for your obedience. Up until now, you have survived the fire, endured the silence, and learned not to compare your process. But now comes a different kind of tension. Not pain, not confusion, but hesitation. The subtle resistance that sounds reasonable. The inner negotiation that says just a little more time, just one more sign, just one more confirmation. That voice is not always rebellion. Sometimes it is fear wearing the mask of wisdom. You know exactly what God has been asking of you. Not vaguely, not symbolically. Clearly. There is one step you keep circling, one decision you keep postponing, one obedience you keep delaying because you understand its cost. Delayed obedience is still disobedience, just quieter. This is where many people lose momentum without realizing it. They don't walk away from God. They simply stop moving forward. They remain spiritual, reflective, informed but inactive. And inactivity slowly dulls sensitivity. You are not here by accident today. This is the moment where heaven presses pause and says, choose, because what comes next requires agreement. You have already outgrown certain spaces, but you keep revisiting them mentally. You have already been released from certain people, but you keep reopening emotional doors. You have already been instructed, but you keep asking God to renegotiate the terms. The battle is not external, it is internal surrender. God is not asking for perfection. He is asking for alignment. He is not demanding that you understand the whole path. He is asking that you trust the next step. And yes, obedience will cost you something. It will cost familiarity. It will cost approval. It will cost the illusion of control. But what it gives you is authority. You cannot carry new oil in old agreement. You cannot step into glory while still negotiating obedience. Partial surrender always produces partial power. This is where fear intensifies, not because God is angry, but because destiny is near. The closer you get to alignment, the louder resistance becomes. Your mind starts listing risks. Your memory replays past failures. Your emotions search for reassurance. But reassurance is not given before obedience. It follows it. There is a reason this feels heavy, and this decision closes a door permanently. You sense it. Once you say yes, you cannot unsee what you see. You cannot unknow what you know. You cannot go back to pretending. And that is exactly why this moment matters. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Elijah, as recorded in the first book of Kings. Chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. Wavering drains strength. Decision restores it. God is not pressuring you. He is inviting you out of hesitation. Heaven is not asking for speed. It is asking for clarity. A divided heart cannot carry a united calling. You already know the answer. You are just deciding whether to honor it. And let me speak this gently but truthfully: if you keep delaying, the cost will not be punishment, it will be numbness. Sensitivity fades when conviction is repeatedly ignored. That is not judgment. That is consequence. But this is the mercy: you are still feeling the pull, which means the door is not closed. This is your turning point. And as you step into this decision, I want to say something sincerely, not as pressure, but as invitation. If this message is speaking to you, if it has walked with you through these layers, then staying connected matters, not for numbers, for continuity. Like this message, if it resonates, share it with someone who is quietly wrestling with obedience. And subscribe so you don't disconnect from what God is building in sequence. Not every word is meant to stand alone. Some messages are steps. Now back to you. You do not need to announce your obedience. You need to live it. You do not need to convince anyone. You need to commit internally. Heaven responds to private decisions more than public declarations. When you say yes, clarity will come. When you move, provision will appear. When you release control, peace will follow. Not before. This is not the moment to be brave emotionally. It is the moment to be faithful practically. One step, one decision, one release. You are not late. You are on time. And glory does not come from avoiding the cost, it comes from paying it willingly. The battle for your yes ends the moment you stop wavering. Choose. There is a moment in every true calling when God does not defend you immediately. When accusations are allowed, when misunderstanding spreads, when silence feels unfair. This is the stage where many people assume they have missed God, because if God were truly with them, Surely he would correct the narrative faster. But Scripture shows us something different. Before glory, there is often public misunderstanding. Before vindication, there is a loud injustice. Before heaven speaks, earth is permitted to misjudge. And no story reveals this more clearly than the life of Jesus himself. Jesus did not fail privately and succeed publicly. He was faithful privately and still condemned publicly. He healed the sick, restored the broken, spoke truth without manipulation, and was still accused of blasphemy, rebellion, and deception. Religious leaders twisted his words. Crowds turned, friends scattered, lies spread faster than truth, and heaven stayed silent. This is the part people skip when they talk about favor. Jesus could have defended himself. He could have called angels. He could have corrected the narrative with one sentence. But he didn't. Not because he was weak, but because vindication was scheduled, not rushed. You must understand this. God sometimes allows accusation because vindication carries more authority than defense. Defense argues, vindication reveals. Jesus stood before courts that misunderstood him. He was judged by systems that could not recognize truth when it stood in front of them. He was mocked, beaten, and humiliated not in secret, but in public. And it looked like loss. But heaven was watching differently. Because the cross was not proof of failure. It was proof of obedience. What looked like defeat to earth was alignment to heaven. What looked like rejection was actually fulfillment. What looked like the end was the doorway to resurrection power. And then at the appointed time, God spoke, not through argument, not through explanation, but through resurrection. According to the words recorded in the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 4, and he was declared to be the Son of God in power according to the Spirit of holiness by his resurrection from the dead. Declared, vindicated, confirmed. Jesus was not defended by debate. He was vindicated by power. This is crucial for you because your story follows the same spiritual pattern. There are seasons when God allows people to believe the wrong version of you, when your intentions are questioned, when your obedience is misunderstood, when your silence is interpreted as guilt, when your patience is mistaken for weakness, and everything in you wants to correct the record. But heaven says, wait, because correction only convinces some, vindication silences all. Jesus did not rise quietly. He rose visibly, undeniably, publicly. Heaven and earth were both forced to acknowledge what had been true all along. That is what is coming for you. What was done to you privately will be addressed publicly. What was mocked in you will be honored openly. What was doubted will be established clearly, but only if you do not step out of alignment trying to explain yourself early. Jesus trusted the Father with his reputation. That trust was not wasted. And this is where faith becomes costly. You must resist the urge to prove yourself. Resist the temptation to gather allies. Resist the instinct to defend your name. Your obedience is speaking louder than your explanations ever could. People may believe lies for a season. That season is allowed, not permanent. Vindication has a timing, and when it comes, it does not come quietly. It comes with authority. The resurrection did not just restore Jesus, it exposed everyone who misjudged him, without him saying a word. This is how God works. When God vindicates you, he does not just lift you. He clarifies the entire story. He shows who was aligned, who was premature, who was malicious, and who was simply blind. You do not need to manage that. You need to endure. And endurance does not mean silence forever. It means restraint until release. If you are listening to this and something in you is aching, it's because you recognize this season. You know what it's like to be faithful and still misunderstood, to do right and still be questioned, to obey and still be overlooked. Take heart. Jesus was not buried because he was wrong. He was buried because he was finished with that level. Resurrection always follows completion. And here is the prophetic alignment moment. At the very end of this section, I want you to comment a number not casually, but intentionally. Numbers in Scripture often mark completion and transition. This is not superstition, it is symbolic agreement. Comment 777 if you believe God will vindicate you without you defending yourself. Not because you are passive, but because you trust the timing of resurrection power. Let that number be your quiet declaration. I will wait for God's vindication. Because when heaven speaks, no argument survives it. What God is preparing to place on you is not light. It is not decorative. It is not for admiration. It is glory. And glory must be stewarded or it will crush the one who carries it. This is the part of the journey few people talk about. The part after survival, after obedience, after vindication begins to form, when doors open, when favor increases, when people start listening, when influence quietly expands. This is where many lose what they prayed for, not because they were unworthy, but because they were unprepared to carry it correctly. You are entering a season where restraint matters more than hunger. Up to now, you were trained to endure lack. Soon, you will need to endure abundance. Lack teaches dependence. Abundance tests humility. And humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is remembering the source of what flows through you. Glory does not belong to the vessel, it rests on it. You must understand this clearly. What is coming into your life is not a reward for suffering. It is a responsibility assigned because of character. God is not elevating you to make you visible. He is elevating you to make him visible through you. This is why you were processed deeply. You learned silence so you would not speak prematurely. You learned restraint so you would not misuse authority. You learned loss so you would not idolize gain. Stewardship begins internally before it is ever seen externally. The danger is subtle. When favor increases, people listen more closely, and when they affirm more often, they praise more freely. And if you are not anchored, you will start drawing identity from response instead of obedience. That is where glory leaks. You are not meant to impress. You are meant to remain aligned. This is why you must keep returning to the pit you were lifted from, not to relive pain, but to remember perspective. Memory keeps pride from forming. Gratitude keeps entitlement from growing. You did not earn this. You were entrusted with it. Another principle of stewardship: do not rush to display what God is still establishing. Visibility before stability always ends in collapse. God increases weight before reach, depth before height, root before fruit. You do not need to announce growth. Growth reveals itself. There will be moments when you could leverage influence for personal gain. Moments when compromise looks efficient. Moments when shortcuts feel justified because you've already suffered enough. That is when stewardship is tested. Glory does not excuse disobedience, it magnifies it. The same fire that refined you will now protect you if you remain submitted. But if you detach from the source, the weight becomes unbearable. This is why God delays some blessings not as denial, but as protection. You are being taught how to hold power without needing to prove it. Another discipline you must practice: protect the inner life. Do not let constant output replace intimacy. Do not let responsibility crowd out devotion. The anointing flows from connection, not performance. If you lose the secret place, public strength will fade. And understand this: not everyone who celebrates you now is meant to walk with you later. Stewardship includes discernment. You are allowed to limit access. You are allowed to choose privacy. You are allowed to guard what God entrusts to you. Jesus himself did not reveal everything to everyone. He withdrew often. He prayed more as crowds increased. That was not weakness. That was wisdom. You must learn to say no without guilt. Glory requires boundaries. You are not responsible for meeting every expectation. You are responsible for maintaining alignment. God will never ask you to sacrifice obedience to satisfy demand. There is also this truth: stewardship means patience. Some manifestations will come slower than you expect, not because God is hesitant, but because timing completes what gifting begins. What arrives too early often departs too quickly. Remain steady. Remain teachable. Remain grounded. The ancient words written in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 7, speak directly to this moment. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us. You are the jar, not the source. The power flows through you, not from you. That understanding keeps you safe. Glory carried without humility becomes a burden. Glory carried with humility becomes light. People will feel peace around you, not pressure. Healing, not ego. Clarity, not confusion. This is how you know stewardship is healthy: when people leave strengthened, not impressed. You are not being shaped to be admired. You are being shaped to be trusted. And trust is heaven's highest currency. What God is building in you now is sustainability, the ability to last, to remain faithful when excitement fades, to remain obedient when applause grows, to remain pure when access increases. This is not about perfection, it is about posture. Keep returning to gratitude. Keep choosing obedience. Keep honoring the process that formed you. Glory time is not about elevation alone. It is about faithful continuation, and you are ready for that. You are no longer becoming a testimony. You are the testimony. This is the moment where everything converges: the fire, the silence, the obedience, the restraint, the stewardship. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was excessive. Nothing was accidental. What God has been writing in you is now readable through you. People may not know the chapters, but they can feel the authority. You carry something that cannot be taught in a classroom and cannot be borrowed from another life. You carry credibility that was earned in private. Your presence speaks before your words do. There is weight in how you listen. There is peace in how you respond. There is clarity in how you move. This is what it means to be crowned, not with attention, but with responsibility. A crown in the kingdom is not an ornament. It is a signal. It marks who can be trusted with influence without being consumed by it. And you have been trusted because you learned how to walk without applause, how to obey without explanation, how to wait without bitterness. You are not loud because you no longer need to prove anything. You are not rushed because you know timing matters. You are not reactive because you have been anchored. Your life now teaches even when your mouth is closed. This is the final transition, when your story stops being about survival and starts becoming a reference point for others. People will not just listen to what you say, they will study how you live, how you handle pressure, how you respond to success, how you treat people who cannot advance you. That is why integrity matters now more than ever. Because testimony is not just what God did, it is how you steward what He gave. You will notice something shifting. Opportunities align without forcing. Conversations open without manipulation. Influence increases without chasing. This is not luck. This is alignment producing flow. But hear this carefully: you do not graduate from dependence. You deepen it. The higher you go, the more essential humility becomes. The farther your reach extends, the more important your roots are. Never forget who you were when no one was watching. Never despise the version of you that survived in obscurity. That version carried you here. And there will be moments when you are tempted to shrink to make yourself smaller so others feel comfortable. Do not do that. You are not arrogant for standing fully in what God assigned. You are obedient. Your light does not threaten the right people. It awakens them. This is also where discernment sharpens. Not everyone who praises you understands you. Not everyone who affirms you is aligned with you. Stay grounded. Stay prayerful. Stay submitted to truth, not admiration. You are crowned, yes, but crowns are worn under authority, not above it. The ancient words recorded in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 11. Speak directly to this moment, hold fast what you have, so that no one may take your crown. Crowns are not stolen through force. They are lost through neglect. You hold fast by staying faithful, by continuing to choose integrity when it would be easy to drift, by remembering that your life is not your own, it is a living message. And this is why connection matters. Not for fame, not for validation, but for continuity. If this message has walked with you, if it has helped articulate what God has been doing in silence, then stay connected. Like this message if it resonates. Share it with someone who needs confirmation that their process mattered. And subscribe not out of obligation, but because alignment thrives in consistency. Now hear this final truth before we slow down. Your testimony is not finished because you reached a platform. It is ongoing because you remained obedient. God will keep writing as long as you keep yielding. New chapters will come. New assignments will unfold, but the foundation is set. You are no longer asking, "Why did this happen to me?" You are now asking, "Who will this help through me?" That is maturity. You were chosen not to be admired, but to be useful. Not to be elevated above others, but to lift others. Not to escape pain alone, but to illuminate a path forward. You are living proof that transformation is possible. Obedience is rewarded, and silence was never abandonment. You are crowned as a living testimony, and heaven is not finished with you. Before we truly close, let this ending remain open, unfinished in the best way, because your story is still unfolding. You don't need a dramatic conclusion. You don't need a loud declaration. What you carry now is quieter, steadier, and far more powerful than noise. It's the kind of strength that doesn't rush to be seen. It simply is. Take a moment and notice how different you feel compared to who you were before the fire, before the silence, before the waiting. You are not hardened. You are not emptied. You are tempered. There is balance where there used to be fear, discernment where there used to be confusion, peace where there used to be striving. That didn't happen by accident. What comes next will not look the same as what came before. You may not recognize the path immediately, and that's okay. You don't need full visibility to keep walking. You only need alignment, one step at a time, one quiet yes after another. If you choose to sit with this message a little longer, let it settle, let it echo, let it confirm what you already sensed but couldn't name. And if at some point you feel led without pressure, without obligation, you're free to like or share this message so it finds someone else who is standing at a similar threshold. Or don't. Both are fine. What matters most is that you leave here lighter, clearer, and more grounded than when you arrived. That you remember this: your life is not behind schedule. Heaven is not confused about you. And what God has started, He is faithful to continue. So go forward without rushing the next chapter. Go forward without shrinking the truth of who you've become. Go forward knowing this wasn't an ending, it was a pause. And the story continues when you're ready.